Hey everyone. In this video I want to talk to you about owning your awkwardness. You see, all of us are going to have awkward moments at random points in our life, and people who tend to be a bit more shy or even introverted tend to believe that awkward moments are like the end of the world and that they're these incredibly horrible situations where you get judged by other people and you end up embarrassing yourself and looking like a fool. But this isn't quite the case. You see, there's a secret about awkward moments, which is if you just embrace the awkwardness, if you just own it and still be authentic throughout it, you'll find that they don't matter as much. You'll find that the situations won't even be as awkward. So what I mean here is, quite often when people enter awkward situations, they'll realize that it's awkward. They'll have that thought like, oh geez, this is awkward, creating an awkward situation here, this is embarrassing, whatever it may be. But if you do that, it actually will make the situation more awkward, because then you're kind of letting it grow and expand, you're acknowledging it. So if you kind of just don't acknowledge the situation, if you just ignore that it's awkward and just act like it isn't and just keep on going as normal and just kind of embracing it and owning it, it's not as bad. See, this is something I've discovered in my own life. I used to be just devastated by awkward situations because I would create them rather often, especially with girls when I was growing up, because I didn't know how to connect with them. So I had no real way of knowing what the right thing to do or say was, or really just that, the best piece of advice when it comes to connecting with the opposite sex is literally just to be yourself. But I was too awkward to even do that. So I would try to pretend to be someone I wasn't, and it would inevitably lead to me not knowing what to say next because I wasn't being myself, and it would just create awkward moments. But I found as I got older that those situations were only really awkward if I acknowledged it or even thought of it as being awkward. But when I just continued to be myself and to be authentic and to own the awkwardness, to embrace it and work through it, I found that awkward situations have kind of gotten to the point where they're not really all that awkward for me. And what I mean is, I'm just so authentic that even when a situation does get awkward, it doesn't knock me off course at all. And I don't even think of it as being awkward in my head. I just think, oh well, this is happening, I don't know what to say next, and that's okay. And this other person is staring at me wondering what I'm about to say, and they don't know what to say either, so oh well, this happens from time to time. I don't acknowledge the awkwardness, and that makes it way easier to handle. So to give you an example here, I was recently in Colorado visiting family, and while I was there, I went to a bar with my family, and I don't drink much. I mean, like, really at all. I barely drink. I maybe have a drink like not even once a month. It's more like a few times a year. So I never really go to bars all that often. And my family was already at the bar. I was basically joining them a bit late. So I ordered a drink by myself without them around. And it had been so long since I had done that I almost forgot how to act social in that situation. So with the bartender, when she was waiting for me to figure out what I wanted, one, I don't drink often enough to have any clue about what would taste good at different areas that have different offerings. So I was looking at the menu like, I have no idea what I would like out of all these things, and she basically helped me along and gave me a few samples. But it was a pretty awkward situation, I would say, because I was there stumbling, not knowing what to say. I even kind of made a few jokes about it because I basically told her up front, I was like, I don't drink often enough, so I have no idea. I don't know what I want. I'm one of those customers who are a bit more difficult than others for that reason, and yeah, it sucks, but whatever. And I just kind of moved through it, made a few jokes, and just owned the awkwardness. I owned the fact that it was kind of a bit of an awkward situation because I just didn't know what to say, didn't know how to react and how to move in that area because I just don't do it often enough. And the funny thing was, since I just embraced it, it didn't really matter. Like, she didn't start making fun of me or anything. She didn't even seem to be judging me. In fact, if anything, she seemed to be kind of wanting to help me through it, and I didn't care what she thought of me, so it didn't make me basically like close up or anything. It basically, what ends up happening quite often is when people acknowledge the awkwardness of a situation, they can kind of shut themselves off and make it even more awkward, because then they start tripping up thinking, oh God, this person is judging me, when often they aren't, especially because awkward situations always involve another person, right? I mean, you can't really create awkwardness on your own. I can't see how that would work. So since there's another person involved, you'll find quite often that they want the awkwardness to be relieved as well, that tension that's created from the awkward moment. They want that tension to be released. So they usually aren't going to be judging you anyway. They're going to be wanting the awkwardness to end just as much as you. So you don't need to fear them judging you. But even if they are someone who judges you like that, who cares what they think of you? Do you really care about those kinds of people, the opinions of judgmental people? I don't. Those people suck, so I don't care what they think of me. Neither should you. So even if you do encounter someone like that during an awkward moment, who cares what they think of you? Just let it go and just don't get tripped up by it. But I wanted to give you that example because, yeah, I create awkward situations from time to time, but I don't acknowledge it, and I don't feel bad in the moment, and I don't make it worse by acknowledging it. I just kind of own up to it, and I say, hey, oh well, I don't know what to say. This situation is becoming a bit weird because of that, but who cares? It happens from time to time to everyone. It's just a normal part of human communication, of just being human in general. It will happen from time to time. So try not to let it trip you up. Just embrace it, just own it, and just keep being yourself throughout it. In fact, for all the guys out there, you'll find that if you can embrace and own awkwardness when connecting with women, it'll make you more attractive. Because instead of trying to muscle through it, or, well, I guess a better way of saying it is power through it, you can just kind of relax in it and not really care. And if you don't know what to say next, just own it. You can even say it. You can say, hey, look, you're really attractive and I have no idea what to say next because I'm at a loss. You can just embrace it, acknowledge it, and women will love that because it's showing authenticity and confidence. Having the confidence to acknowledge that the situation may have gotten a bit awkward, but who cares? You're not going to let it trip you up because it's a natural thing. You shouldn't let it trip you up. So I guess to just sum up this video, awkward moments are only really awkward when we kind of acknowledge that and give light to the fact that it's awkward. But if you just power through it, or more so, not power through it, that's the wrong way of saying it. If you just embrace it and own it and just don't care that the situation got a bit awkward, you'll find that things will be fine going forward, and that the other person won't care, they won't judge you, and that you'll be fine. You're not going to ruin your reputation in their eyes, especially because quite often those situations will usually happen with strangers, so it's not like you'll ever see them again. So just embrace it, own it, and just work through it. It'll be gone soon enough, and it's not going to mess up your life. And who cares if you embarrass yourself? It happens to everyone. It doesn't matter. I guess one final tip I'll say here is that if you can get to a place where you care way less what other people think of you, that'll also help you power through awkward moments, because then you're not going to care if they judge you or anything, and that makes it way easier to deal with, because most of the time we get tripped up from awkward moments because we care way too much what other people think of us, and we want to maintain or preserve our reputation in their eyes. But that's all BS. Just let go of that. Who cares? What matters more is your own opinion of yourself, and if you value that more than the opinions of strangers, you'll be able to get through awkward moments without any issue whatsoever. But anyway, this video is getting way too long, so I'm going to end it here. I truly hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, the easiest way you can support me is just to like, comment, share, and I will see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!